Hello, my name is Leon Gravesandy. I am an Institute of Integrative Nutrition health coach who works with clients to improve metabolic health through diet and lifestyle changes. On today's show, we have Evan joining us to tell us about his health journey using the carnivore diet. Welcome, Evan.
Hello.
I was looking at your Instagram page, and you had listed on there that you lost 200 pounds in 2 years. Can you kind of just take us back and, from the beginning, kind of let us know how your health was, growing up and kind of give
Hmm.
us your story?
Well, um, even going back to when I was a kid, I had a bit of trouble with my weight. I was chunky. I was never like super obese or anything until around, I'd say, the 90s, like 92. And granted, I was born in 1980, so I'm kind of older, but whatever, right? But I I didn't really have any problem with my weight until they started putting high fructose corn syrup. It seemed like in everything, especially in soda. And I was a big soda and like sugar consumer. I drank a lot of Kool-Aid and drank a lot of pop. And
Mhm.
once they put the fake sugar in everything, it seemed like my weight kind of just went crazy. Because I actually ended up drinking more of that stuff. And along with that, I actually kind of had some a little bit of depression, anxiety. It seemed to creep in, but also I was a teenager, so who knows how much of that was related to that.
Mhm.
Um, and I was a fairly active kid, but the diet of the sugar and the sodas and the candy and the junk food
Mhm.
that didn't really help with my weight. Uh, and then I got into high school and ended up doing marching band that helped with maintaining some of my weight, but I was still kind of a bigger guy. I think when I graduated high school, I was about 320, 310, somewhere in there. And that was kind of like my weight. And then recently, well, when I was 25, I decided to lose quite a bit of weight. So I tried Weight Watchers, and that worked significantly well, mainly just because I stopped drinking soda and cut down a lot of my carb consumption and was just eating mainly, Weight Watchers food, whatever that was at the time. And I lost about 120 pounds then in 1 year. It was actually pretty dramatic. It was, yeah, about 9.5 months. I lost 120 pounds. That was the first time I did it.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So this is actually the second time I've lost over 120 pounds, which is why before we started, I mentioned I was going to write a book about this. I have to tell that story. So, but
Right.
yeah, recently I had a bad breakup and I'd heard a lot of good things about the carnivore diet, and I had tried a mostly carb diet before when they called it Atkins.
Mhm.
That was a different version of carnivore. You could say it's kind of like carnivore, but a lot more different. You're a nutrition specialist. You would know a lot more about that than me. But
Mhm.
carnivore, just predominantly what I've done is just I stopped consuming complex carbohydrates. I
Mhm.
stopped consuming fast food. I stopped consuming soda, obviously. I quit caffeine and I started mainly eating meat. I would have, greens here and there. I call it not the carnivore diet, but my version of it is the mountain lion diet,
Mhm.
because in the country out here, we got big cats and mountain lions that much further south than here in Austin. But yeah, they're big wild cats and they would just eat what's on the farm. I'm sure, like chickens, eggs, uh, they probably bite on a cow if there's a dead one somewhere nearby. So that's kind of what I eat. I eat pork, chicken, pig, and a little bit of dairy, but I don't have a stomach for it. And that's, well, aside from the drastic exercise routine that I do,
Mhm.
that's pretty much it diet wise.
Okay. Was there any like influencers that you were following, or how did
Uh,
you kind of
Sorry,
get
go
to
ahead.
learn about that?
How did I learn about it? Well, with previous experience with Atkins, I knew it would be pretty effective, at least in some respects. But there
Mhm.
was always like the problem with me getting really tired. I would just feel lazy and I just couldn't stick to it. I would just crave sugar. But I heard about a carnivore initially through Joe Rogan, and I believe Jordan Peterson mentioned it on YouTube quite a bit. Talked about the
Mhm.
changes. Milika Peterson, his daughter, she tried the carnivore diet and switched just to eating like one kind of meat, and that really changed a lot of her immunological problems. And that got me thinking, well, maybe my issues with depression, anxiety, and my just general fatigue, even though I work all the time, I work full time.
Mhm.
Maybe that's because of my diet, and I just gave it a shot and kind of just wrapped my own little thing around it, and it's worked really well for me.
Right. Yeah, I think she's doing the lion diet.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
did you have any kind of like metabolic issues? Anything specific, maybe like insulin resistance, or were you becoming pre-diabetic or
I was definitely pre-diabetic. My doctor, when I was right when I lost the first 120 pounds, my doctor told me you need to lose the weight or you're going to develop diabetes. You could have a heart attack. And it
Mhm.
was like, okay, I don't want heart disease and I don't want to, I don't want to pass away too soon. So I better start taking this seriously. And then fortunately, sometimes life gets in the way, and I got a little depressed again and had some bad relationship problems. It seems like that's usually my trigger to make me want to eat my feelings,
Mm.
and that usually is what happens. I would end up eating my feelings, but therapies helps quite a bit with that. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's great.
yeah,
And like what kind of foods were you eating? I mean, I know you talked about like the drinks with high fructose corn syrup,
yeah.
but maybe when you were eating unhealthy, what was the thing like you craved the most or
Oh man, cheese. Even though I can barely tolerate it because I'm lactose intolerant.
Mhm.
Um, Definitely sweets. I was absolutely just dying to get a hold of sweets all the time. Uh, let's see. Fast food. I ate a lot of Taco Bell and I ate a lot
Mhm.
of like Burger King and McDonald's just because a lot of the salty sweet meat that they also put sugar in, you just can't say no to it. I was pretty hooked on all the typical stuff, unfortunately. And also going out to eat like a big dinners too. Like my girlfriends and I, we would just go splurge and go out to all the fancy dinners. We eat that on top of all the other crap we were consuming. And yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was like it was pure indulgence. I'm going to admit it was just, yeah, just indulgence and pretty gross.
Yeah. I used to actually like going to Taco Bell
Oh
and
man,
like their Mexi Melt was one of the things I enjoyed the most, but
yes, absolutely. Still to this day, I will go through about once or twice a month. I'll just, if I'm bored, I'm like, you know what? I've got to go. I'm going to do a big run tomorrow. I want some just extra energy. I'll go through and grab like a cheesy bean and rice burrito because it's the most innocuous thing on their menu. It's like this flimsy tortilla and it's like just cheese, just rice, just beans, a little bit of the sauce. And it's like, okay,
yeah.
yeah, it's bad, but you know what? It's basically just boiled. So
Right.
I could do worse to myself, even for like a guilty pleasure.
So are you at your ideal weight now, or are you still kind of working towards a goal?
I'm working towards body goals now.
Mhm.
I went from a size 42 pants down to a size 30, 31 waist, and that's pretty good for me. I never anticipated anything like that. I was like, at one point I was 230, 240. I was like, I've never been this skinny. I've never been in this good a shape. And I
Mhm.
look at those old pictures of myself. I'm like, oh man, I was still pretty swollen looking. I looked really uncomfortable. And honestly, I don't feel uncomfortable anymore in my clothes. And I really just want to change physical things about my musculature, I guess my build. That's the only thing I'm really working on now. The weight I'm maintaining is about 195 to 205, and that's perfectly
Mhm.
fine to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a pretty sharp dresser.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was seeing you on Facebook, we're friends on there and I
Yes.
see a lot of your posts. So
Well, I'm trying to it's another thing. I'm not trying to say I'm like a super Jordan Peterson fan, but he did
mhm.
point me in a direction of a lot of things and a certain way of thinking, especially about how you present yourself in public.
Mhm.
Um, like it's there's an old adage. I think wrestlers are famous for saying this, but fake it till you make it, right?
Mhm.
But I've always loved to look nice, and there's nothing. I'm not faking my appearance. I want to, show the world that I'm happy with how I look, and
Yeah.
I try to dress like what I imagine an adult would look like, an adult me would look like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And obviously when you're losing that weight, you gain a lot of confidence, you're feeling
indeed.
better about yourself, so
Indeed. Yeah. To that end, I mentioned the pant size, but I went
mhm.
from a double X, triple X t shirt down to a small medium, which
Mhm.
being 6'2",
Mhm.
mostly 300 pounds my whole life, I didn't even conceive of that. And I know it's not about size, but, you know, the problem I've had being a bigger guy, especially a taller guy, is being able to find clothes that fit me in public. But now,
Right.
since I can fit into a small, I can literally just go into any store. I don't have to buy a specialty shirt. I can just go buy any shirt and it fits, and that's really liberating.
Mm. That's good.
Yep.
When you were losing this weight, kind of like with your health, were there anything with like your lipids that maybe your doctor was concerned about you doing like a carnivore diet, or were you kind of doing follow-ups with that and kind of tracking how your health was improving and what numbers were changing?
I didn't do a lot of tracking at first because I hadn't been to the doctor in a while, and I was going through a bit of a mental episode. Let's say that at the beginning. But after my initial checkup, they were like, "Wow, your numbers look great," and they're like, "Well, I mean, you feel bad?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "How do you feel?" I'm like, "Well, I feel pretty great." And they're like, "Well, there's nothing wrong with your blood or anything, so you seem like
Mm-hmm.
you're on the right track, or you're doing something that's working for your body. So keep it up."
Oh, great.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah.
And my blood pressure's always just right where it needs to be. It's kind of wild.
Okay. What
Yeah,
about, cholesterol
they said that was normal too.
too? Good.
Yeah,
That's good.
absolutely normal.
Let's see. So what else here? Okay. So are you cooking a lot of your meals now?
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
cook a ton. Yes. Basically, now recently there are festivals. I like to go out and celebrate festivals. A lot of my friends' birthdays this time of year, so I'll go out and splurge and have a meal here and there. But most of what
Mhm.
I eat, I make myself. Yeah.
Okay. And can you kind of take us through what you're eating maybe on a daily basis? Is it
Uh, well, let's see.
does it change up, or are you pretty much kind of eating the same meals?
It changes. It varies. I go usually there's at least 2 3 days a week that we eat steak. My roommate and I cook for him and me.
Hmm.
So we eat steak 2 or 3 nights a week. We'll eat chicken 1 or 2 nights a week, and then we'll fit pork in there as well. And then that's just like a couple of pieces, like a 4 to 8 ounce portion, a couple of those.
Hmm.
And then let's see, with that I'll usually have bacon. I'll have four to five pieces of bacon, but I only do that about 4 nights a week. I don't do that 7 nights a week. That'd be a bit much. And then I eat about 4 eggs a day. Every single day I eat four
Hmm.
eggs. And I saw Dr. Burr mention that on YouTube, and it had something to do with the well, how good that is for your brain. And I
Hmm.
have noticed quite a bit it's quite a bit easier to think and communicate nowadays too. Just I'm assuming it's just because of all the stuff that I eat and the fact that I also take vitamins and supplements on top of my diet. But
Mm.
predominantly that, like a plate of meat, plate of bake with bacon and eggs every day. Let's see. Between there, like I usually fast. If I have a
Hmm.
second meal, if I'm going to be working later on in the day, I'll have a second meal at work, and that'll just be like another 4 to 6 ounce portion of meat, and probably some salted peanuts. I really like salted peanuts. That's actually a pretty good source of fat.
Okay.
I also like fresh guacamole. Seems to be really good.
Hmm.
And I will. It seems like I can tolerate corn. I can tolerate like gluten-free corn tortillas. They seem to be like not bother me or even make my weight fluctuate at all, and triggers like no inflammation in me. So somehow that also is part of my diet. So
Hmm.
that's about 3 nights a week, though, not in excess of that.
Okay. So you're doing usually probably two meals a day,
Yeah,
something like
roughly.
that. Okay. What about have you done any longer fasts? You were saying you do intermittent fasting. So
Yes.
yeah, are
The
you doing like
longest fat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no. Are you doing like 16/8 or 20? Well, probably 16/8 if you're doing like two meals.
Yes, 16/8.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's predominantly it. Sometimes now I don't do that every day.
Hmm.
I was doing a 6 day a week workout. I had shortened it recently to 5, but I'm going to go back up to 6 because my work has been changing a little bit lately, and I'm shifting into more less of a physical role.
Hmm.
So I'm going to be transitioning back to 6 days a week, and that's going to probably increase my eating a little bit more. And I've noticed that the more I exercise, the more I want to eat,
Hmm.
which is good. And I've learned that's okay. It's not, you just have to make sure you don't go crazy with the cravings.
Yeah. And what kind of fats or oils are you using when you cook?
Uh, I met this. Okay. So, my father's from Kentucky. I'm going to go ahead and preface that. And I'm not using this as an excuse. I'm essentially a Kentucky gentleman, even though I live here in Indiana. And we
Okay.
believe in cooking with bacon grease and butter. Uh,
Okay.
that's pretty much it. Reclaim bacon grease from the bacon that I eat, which is the great thing about bacon. it gives you like a salty, protein, and then
Mm-hmm.
also gives you a cook, something that's really good to help your spices and stuff and your salts and your everything stick to your meat, which is really nice, and it gives it a
Yeah.
nice flavor too.
Yeah, and I mean, what it's basically free if you're
Yes,
cooking with it, right? And
it
then
is
just
indeed
storing
upcycling.
it.
Yeah,
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 yeah. So why not do that?
indeed. And the
So,
butter is just, I just buy the best grass fed butter I can buy. I just buy that.
mm.
Yeah.
And what about the meat? Do you specifically go for like grass fed or it doesn't matter?
When I can afford it, yes.
Yeah.
Typically, I just buy when I go to the grocery store. I buy the most expensive cut of meat they have. If I go to the butcher, I do the same. I've been shopping around. I'm still not quite, I haven't found my home, so to speak, when it comes to my butcher or my meat provider. But I'm
Hmm.
looking. It's only been a year, so I don't plan
Okay.
on giving this up anytime soon. It's pretty great.
Yeah. And is there any other benefits that we haven't touched on that you kind of want to highlight or?
Confidence is definitely there. I don't know. When it comes to dating, the dating I've done, it
Hmm.
seems like um, the people I date are much more appreciative of my physique and my energy levels.
Hmm.
To say that, it seems, I guess, sexually, it's been a lot better too.
Hmm.
Everything's just better, really.
Yeah, more consistent energy levels, no crashes.
No.
Like what when you're meeting someone uh and they ask, what you eat or do you get any kind of bad feedback from that or they're pretty open to it?
Generally, it's people not believing my story at all. Like they're just like, "You're lying," and I'm like, "Well, here's the pictures, and this is the pictures of what I just had." They're like, no, you don't. That's not you." I'm like, "What? But it is though." People are just in disbelief, and it's like, "No,
Yeah,
I do eat 4 eggs a day. That's very true."
right. Yeah,
That's the thing they can't believe the most.
yeah, I eat, I'm pretty much 5 eggs at least
Yeah,
every day and
it's so
sometimes
good.
seven, it depends.
Ooh. Yeah. Now, I know when I make an omelet, if I'm just eating them over easy, that's four, and I'll stack them up.
Yeah.
Um, but if I'm making an omelet, I'll throw 6 or 7 in there. Oh yeah, any day, and I'll just scarf that up in 10 seconds. Especially if I got some bacon or some steak to go with it.
Hmm.
That's very good.
So, like, how do you find, have you communicated with a lot of other people in the carnivore community? How are you
I've
finding that, the support and everything?
Oh, I've had a couple of Instagrammers reach out to me personally, and they all seem really be cool. Other
Hmm.
people and also the fitness Instagram spectrum seem to be noticing me a little bit, but it's still early on yet. I've got less than like 500 subscribers or followers or whatever, and that's fine. I'm not really
Yeah.
looking for that. I started the entire thing for almost like a way to keep myself with it, a way to keep myself honest, when it came to my
Hmm.
diet and fitness plans. And I'd started something like this before. Like I'd said, I lost over 120 pounds once. I've also lost like 80 pounds here and there in between there, where I had gained what I had lost and then lost it again.
Right.
And I met a lot of people along the way that were really supportive, and those people still are still with me too. So a lot of them still follow me on Facebook, and they remember the last time I tried a stunt like this to try to get myself in shape. So they've all been really supportive. My family and friends too have been really great.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Is anyone like your friends or your family, or are they maybe thinking about doing like a all meat diet or?
I've definitely steered my mother and father. My father is fixing to be 80 years old. My mom is
Mhm.
74. They've already lost. My dad's lost like 40 pounds. My mom's lost like 25. They just basically just cut a lot of their carbs out. I'm like, can you guys just try that? Let me just try
Mhm.
that and tell me what happens. Just do less carbohydrates. And my dad's ecstatic. He's like, I'm gonna get as skinny as you. I'm like, well, good, buddy. If that's what you want, and you
Yeah.
feel like that'll be the thing for you, go for it. So I encourage anybody to pursue something that they think that's going to work for them, especially if it's safe and their doctor thinks so.
Right, for
Yeah.
sure. I
Yeah.
always encourage people to, just eat real food.
Yep.
And, once you really kind of cut out the ultra processed stuff, it just really is life changing.
It is. It's just like suddenly like the mental fog starts. That's the first thing that seemed to go for me. I'm like, wait a second.
Hmm.
Why am I eating all this crap this whole time? Like, wait a second. What else am I doing this wrong? Like, why am I doing this? Like it actually, I don't know, it corrected a lot of my thinking, I guess you could say. And it's really helped steer me in the right direction.
Mm. How was your transition? Like sometimes people kind of experience keto flu. How was that for you? Were you like Was it a tough time? Did you
Mm.
have to take or drink electrolytes or anything like
Um,
that?
I've been supplementing my salt
Mm,
with pink Himalayan sea salt. I'd read early on that that was the thing to go with, so I just been adding that to my meat when I prepare it,
hmm
and also drinking tons of water. And when I drink water, predominantly I drink Evian. And I know it's a bit of a it's kind of crazy just to only drink bottled water, but our uh, our water isn't great here through the tap, and I just get tired of changing that filter out. So I go out every other day and pursue some Evian, and there's plenty of electrolytes in there, and that seems to help balance it out too.
Okay. Have you ever tried anything like Element or
Oh yeah, like enhanced waters. I've tried them a little bit. I would have a Gatorade here and there, but I don't know.
yeah.
I just don't like the flavor. I just like straight water.
Oh, okay. Element's actually a little bit different.
Hmm.
Let's see. So back to the food. What would
Yes.
you say your favorite protein is?
Who? Oh man. Uh, is this Sophie's choice? Is that what you're putting me up against? I feel like I'm Bill Shatner and this is the Kobayashi Maru right now.
Uh,
That's a really deep cut. I apologize.
no, no, it's okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to say steak.
Okay.
It's got to be cow. I mean, I love bacon and I eat it every day, but
Yeah.
there's just something about like a well prepared piece of cow. It's
Mm.
just amazing.
Any special cuts like ribeye? Like ribeye is my favorite. That's usually the
Ribeye
one I
is
buy.
Oh yeah, it's pretty much ribeye, chuck eye, New York strip. Chuck eye is actually you should check that one out, especially if you got a good butcher. A chuck eye is fantastic. My friend
Yeah.
Travis recommended them to me, and everyone's like, yeah, whatever, they're not as good as ribeye, but they can be just as flavorful if you treat them right. Let's see. I definitely like wagyu. Any
hmm
wagyu you can get me. I don't care if it's A5. I've never had a bad piece of wagyu. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm a bit extravagant when it comes to my taste, but
Yeah.
I can eat anything as long as it's well prepared.
What about you eat seafood?
Oh yes, I love
Yeah.
sushi. Oh man, yeah,
Okay. That's good.
yeah,
And then so let's see. So with your Instagram name, so it's 5Ks, 6 days.
yeah.
So so are you doing like 5K runs every six, every day, like for 6 days or
That was the original.
where's it?
That's what I was doing. Yes, that's how I lost the majority of the weight. Was sticking
Right.
to that.
Mm,
At least a 5K jog or walk or hike or whatever 6 days a week.
hmm
And yeah, that was it. And it kind of stuck. I'm like, I was going to update it because I was doing 6 miles a day for a while. I'm like, 5K 6 days is fine.
hmm
It's kind of catchy or whatever. I don't know.
And what else? What else are you doing? Is there anything else or?
Plenty, yes. Well, obviously copious amounts of stretching to start. And
hmm
following that, I about 6 months in, I started doing weightlifting because I was noticing a lot of loose skin in places of my arms and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I need to focus everywhere, not just on my cardiovascular health.
hmm
So I started doing push-ups and sit-ups, and that wasn't very great at first, but it got better. And then I got a weight bench and started doing bench pressing with dumbbells and bicep curls, tricep extensions. What do they call skull crushers? That's one of my favorites for the tricep. And then just started doing weightlifting and then calisthenics too, like light ab work, standing ab workouts, leg lifts, and squats. And then I would do the run.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
It's a lot.
I put myself through boot camp essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Let's see what else. Was there anything else you kind of wanted to cover?
I haven't showed you the pictures you wanted to
Pictures?
see, so if you
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
yeah, I can pull those up. Just if you want to see what like a before and after, we can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's say, scroll down. I don't know if you can see. Do I have to like?
Window. There we go.
Please,
Yep.
okay, please move this window away. Yeah. Okay, so there's me.
Yep.
That is me last year.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Last year. Okay.
yes, around that was after about 20 pounds down, actually. Let me see. I'll pull up another one. Let's see if it'll let me. Okay, yes. This is my Facebook feed, so there shouldn't be anything untoward in here or anything too bad. Uh, yeah. There are some pictures of food I've cooked, of course. You can see
Yeah.
me. Oh my goodness, I do not know what's going on there. Okay, everything okay?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, good.
It's fine. I could still see your screen.
All right, good. Let's see. Yeah, that's yet another picture of me. That is a double extra large. That's a double extra large T-shirt there. I was still a bigger guy, but working on it and feeling a
Hmm.
lot more confident already just after, having started the diet. This is August. Yeah. So I was about a half a month in and I'm already feeling a lot better about myself.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And then we can just flash forward. You notice there's a lot of little diagnostics here. Those are just pictures of when I was actually working out. I would take a screenshot of my Google workout every day on my Samsung phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that on Instagram. I wasn't sure what program it was.
Now here is me at my largest. I was 405, and that was 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. And then let's see. Let's just get me today, or like last week.
Hmm.
Oh, nice bonfire there. Yeah, and there's your boy today or yesterday, trying to look like I wasn't doing a modeling shot, but yeah, whatever.
Looks good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, there we go. So yes, there's a little photo tour of the last. I could do a lot more. Obviously, I have a lot of material there, but
Hmm.
it's been a whirlwind. The craziest part for me was about like December of last year. I was wearing like extra larges and larges and being like, oh, okay, this is kind of roomy.
Hmm.
What if I just try the medium? And the medium was big on me. And I'm like, okay, um, big things have happened. It seems like things have happened far faster than I thought they would have. And
Yeah.
that's what I've noticed. Like every other diet I've tried has never been as not fast, but I guess I should say, I don't know, meaningful as carnivore has been for me, or at least a almost carnivore diet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of that with people that the weight kind of comes off fast, but eventually some people will probably hit like kind of a stall.
Mm.
So, but yeah, you're doing great. I mean,
I think it's the willpower. I think that's really all I have going for me.
yeah.
I do not want to fail, and I'm 42 at this point. If I give up now, it's just gonna. I don't know how bad it'll be when I stop, so
Hmm.
I'd rather just not give up. So
Mm.
that's
Yeah,
the aim.
definitely. Definitely don't. Is there so where can like people find you? What are you pretty much Instagram? Are you on YouTube at all or
I actually have a 5K 6 days on YouTube as well. I'm going to start releasing more long form videos on there.
Mhm.
Mainly, it'll just be me goofing around, going around in public. I like going out and meeting people and talking about health and pretty much everything. But the first thing I think I'll do is it'll probably be like a mini documentary about this whole thing. That'll be a setup for the book,
Mhm.
and that's 5ks underscore 6 days on YouTube.
Uh,
It's also on the same on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook as myself, Evan Andrew Newton. If you want to look me up on there, I have a public profile. I don't add everybody, but I might
mhm.
add you. I don't know. We might be friends. Who knows?
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about the book. So just kind of give us a little bit, maybe not everything, all the
Sure.
details, but something, a teaser or something.
Well, this is one of probably 2 to 3 books I want to write.
Mhm.
This book is, I call it Book of 5Ks, Volume 1. That's the tentative title. I want to at least write 2 or 3 about this whole experience because I've got a lot to say about it. And in particular, how to me it seems diet and exercise has been completely related to my depression, my anxiety, and my feelings of, I guess, I don't know, feelings that I wasn't worth it, or I had a lot of self doubt. Let's just say that when I was younger. And during the periods of my life when I was in better shape, a lot of that stuff just kind of seemed to disappear. And I
Mhm.
don't know if it was related specifically to the diet and exercise, or if those things just bring about those conditions in you. I want to write the book to explore that.
Mhm.
And since I have several epochs of weight loss to harken back to, the book is going to be structured that way. I'm going to talk about the first 3 to 4 months of this new trying to lose all this weight at 40. Let's just say that'll be the new premise, right? Can I still do this? Which I definitely wasn't sure that I could.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I lost this much weight, I was 25. So I'll be comparing the first 4 months of my weight loss now to that period, and then the entire year is going to be basically compared to different epochs of weight loss that I've experienced throughout my life. And if I do find a correlation between depression, anxiety, and social issues that I've experienced,
Yeah.
that's the premise.
I had a lot of anxiety, I
Mm.
wasn't sure, like I'm well, once I kind of switched over to carnivore, a lot of it kind of went away. I mean, obviously I still have some, just a little, maybe once in a while, but
Do you consume caffeine?
yeah, I do. Yeah, still.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that was another thing I cast aside, and I was a daily coffee drinker. I mean, I would drink in college when I was
Hmm.
going to school for music. I would drink a pot of coffee a day, and then eat an apple, an orange, and a banana, and then I go ride my bike around Louisville. That
Hmm.
was my morning. So I was addicted to coffee, and I still love it.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing to go, and to me, I don't know. You might want to try this.
Hmm.
It cut down a lot of my anxiety. I mean, a tremendous amount of it. Like it just went away. Like it was
Oh,
just gone. Yeah,
right.
it was strange. And then I started reading online about caffeine, and it said, yeah, caffeine may actually trigger your anxiety. I'm like, huh, why did I have to read that? That was the first thing I thought when I saw that.
Yeah.
Why did I have to know? But you know, cutting back on the caffeine has helped me tremendously too.
Too. Okay. Any tips for people who want to quit coffee? Like, was there anything that you used? Any tools or anything, or was it just like cold turkey? You just stopped and forced yourself not to have any more?
I went slow. I did a little bit of I did the broke I weaned myself off of it.
Mm,
Just like I did when I used to smoke cigarettes too. I did the same thing. I weaned myself off of those. I quit smoking cold turkey as well. So
mm,
there's another add that to my list of things that most people don't do. Uh, but yeah, just take it slow. Don't do not try to do it overnight. Yeah, this if you want to stop caffeine, one day at a time.
mm,
Maybe switch to decaf, maybe buy decaf and blend it together, and then try not to think about the fact that you're not drinking caffeine. That also helps. My
yeah.
roommate, my friend, he quit drinking caffeine for a while and he just tried the pills, but I don't like the supplements. I'd rather just do it the old natural way.
Mm. You said you were taking supplements. You kind of mentioned it
Yeah.
earlier in the call. Is that
Yep.
you want to kind of mention what supplements you are taking, or?
My vitamin regimen, absolutely.
Mhm.
Let's see. Daily, I take D3. I take B12. I take C. I take let's see, B1, and I take zinc
Mm.
and magnesium. Those are my
Okay.
dailies. Yep.
Okay. And you get tested for that too to kind of see if your levels are in check, or?
Yeah, last time I went to the doc, they said everything was good.
Good. Good deal.
I was doing
I,
a men's daily, but wasn't
I
that? It
used
just
to
didn't.
take that.
It's just not the same.
Yeah. I think it might be hard for me to like I'm trying to quit coffee. I'm getting to the point where I kind of feel like okay, I could maybe give it up, but I put butter and MCT oil in it.
Oh, nice,
So it
nice, nice,
makes it
nice.
a lot better.
It's certainly better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
The stimulant aspect of it really bothers me. Like I think that's what it is. I really do. It's because I have so much energy. Like
mhm,
especially if I'm up during the day, that coffee is the last thing I think about. Now I do have tea on occasion, and I will now when I do have any kind of sugar, if I'm going to have extracurricular activities, I'll have like a Hershey bar or a little bit of chocolate because chocolate has some caffeine in it.
mhm.
Um, or like I said, I'll have like a half a glass of like chai tea, like the least amount of caffeine possible. And that's if I've got to stay up really, really, really late, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning for any particular reason. But yeah, that's not a common thing. That's like once or twice a month. So
Yeah. Do you ever use any sugar alcohols like monk fruit or stevia? Use that
mm-mm,
or okay.
no. If I'm going to do it, I just do that. I try to do the real thing if I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes like I don't like stevia. Monk fruit I'm okay with.
Hmm. I guess I haven't tried it.
Yeah. Monk
My
fruit's
phone,
pretty
my watch is telling me to stand up. I'm
good.
going to ignore it for the time being.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, that's me too. I got my Apple Watch. Tells me to do that.
I got the ultra.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm crazy. I had to have it. Well, I ride around. You've seen the video. I ride around all these crazy old hills and the back roads of Indiana with no helmet on. And I don't, I guess I'm crazy. I don't know. I like it. It's a lot more free that way. And if I
Yeah.
fall and crack my head, this thing's going to,
Y-
dial up to the Apple cloud and save me. So
Yeah.
I had to have that feature. That's a good feature.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers? Just any final words you want to let them
Hmm.
know?
Don't give up on yourself and your goals, whatever they are, especially if they're positive and they're moving you forward in life, stick with them. Like it doesn't matter if it's fitness related, job related,
Hmm.
just find your thing and don't give up on it.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
Yeah. One
That's
step at a
ex
time.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. It was great to chat with you.
Well, thanks for having
So,
me, Leon.
oh, you're welcome. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please go ahead and click the like button. And if you'd like to be notified about more new content, hit the subscribe. And thanks for joining us, Evan. And
Thank you very much.
talk to you soon.
See you later.